Okay, so I was gonna make a live stream of this, but I've been having some stream problem. So I'm just gonna do this as a recorded video and upload it. Now, the goal of this video is a quick tutorial on how to mod. I made a quick live stream on setting up a modded game, where I'm sort of trying to challenge myself on an interesting theme of a game. Playing as basically a tyrant, being aggressive and hostile to everybody, similar to those fanatical. What are they called? There's some trait in certain species that they hate everybody, and I sort of wanted to play that kind of a theme with, as well as being a very militant and slaver empire. So that game's going pretty good. And in order to face that challenge on insane difficulty, I modded a custom race, and I gave myself all of the base trait bonuses, including the one negative, not bonus, but negative debuff that requires you to have slaves or you produce 10% less minerals, because it just fits the theme. So that game's going pretty good. It's quite challenging, but on creating that game, I modded and I walked through it, and I saw quite a few comments and suggestions. So I think people are interested on how to mod games, and that's sort of the reason that I was going to make this stream anyway, is to show people how modders play games, and people that like to crack and hack games and play not only in the game but with the game files themselves. So what I'm going to do in this video is a few things. I'm going to save game edit, and I'm going to game file mod, and I will explain both of those at the same time. Now, the objective here is that I'm creating a custom race that has these super bonuses, and you see I just created a new game and I've got crazy output of resources here, and these are all the bonuses that this custom race has. So I would never play this game like this with these bonuses. There would be no point, but being able to mod this opens up possibilities, and one of the possibilities that I'm thinking of doing right now is creating a mod that allows you to play as the Borg, a kind of Borg race from Star Trek, kind of themed like that, where instead of being able to colonize planets, you would not be able to colonize any planets with that mod. You would only be able to build and expand your fleet, and then go and conquer other people, kill aliens, collect their, assimilate them basically, to gain technologies and grow in strength, grow in pop points and all that kind of stuff. So, not sure exactly how to do that with the engine. What I have to look at this point is how to edit and mod the planet management system to disallow a species from colonizing and having planets and so on. So it might require some game engine injection. Hopefully not. Hopefully I can do it all through the game files, which in Paradox games are pretty open for modding. Paradox loves people making mods for the game, so they pretty much leave everything open. So this is an introduction to modding that also would be a good step forward if you haven't modded before. Instead of jumping into modding, say, Skyrim or things like that, which can be a little bit more difficult, you can quite easily mod Paradox games, and this is how. So this very, very simple mod is just going to add this. It's going to add a super race that's got all these bonuses. Now, to do that, you first create a new race. I've created a new race here already. You see here the race creation, and you save the race. You go back, and then you select that race to create a new game. So I'm going to create a new game here. Something like that. Now I have a new game. I'm going to quickly go delete some saves before I save that one. Hold on just a second. Alright, so you've got a new game. and you see that the traits don't show up in here. That's because I saved the traits file back to the vanilla so that it would allow me to actually create a game with this race. The game does check the race stats, and if they are beyond the bounds of the allowed points and all that kind of stuff, then it doesn't let you choose that species on game creation. So it's checking for cheats, basically. But there's a way to get around that, and that's save game editing. So what I'm going to do is try to leave the game open while I edit, and I'm going to switch screens. Well, first of all, I have to save the game. I'm going to switch screens to monitor 2, and here you have a on cheatengine.org. I copied this forum poster's post. Just wanted to give him some quick credit for scouting out all the values there. I'll say no to that. So what you want to do is you want to go to your game folder, which you either install into your games folder or in Steam Common, Steam Apps, whatever it is there. I have it installed into normal games folder. Go to the root folder, go to Common, go to Traits folder, and open this file right here, Species Traits. So that's Stellaris root folder, Common, Traits, and open that file, which is this one right here. Now, what I've added here is these 4 traits. I've put the cost of the traits at 100 to make it impossible for the AI random generator to create species in the game that get this trait. And literally you only have to make it maybe 30 or something like that. Even if you took all the negative traits, you still would not get up to 30 points, I think. Well, you should probably put it at a minimum of 50 to be safe. So it doesn't matter, actually. The cost would not matter because you're gonna force add it to your species through the save game anyway. So first you need to go to that traits file and add the traits, and you can tweak these values however you want. So for example, tile resource food multiplier 10.0 is actually 1000%. This, on the other hand, would be 10%. So that is 1000%, right? So that's a huge bonus. And army damage mult, that's 1000%, right? And there's a bunch of different things you can edit. Ship stats, planet stats, leader age, pop migration, army health, army stats, leader skill levels. It's making level 5, you know, ship size, edict, navy size, weapon types, country leader pool, ship reparation, all these kinds of things. There's lots and lots of values in the game that you can tweak and play with. So now that we've done that, you go to your save file. Your save file is actually a zip archive. So using 7-zip, preferably. You can use probably WinRAR or any other zip program, but I suggest using 7-zip. Extract it. I usually extract to a folder. And then open the game data file in a text editor. Now, there's a block up at the top that defines all the species in that save game. The first one of which should probably be you and your custom species. So this block right here in this definition is the traits for your custom species. And we are simply going to add these traits. So I'm going to type trait equals quote trait super 1 end quote. I'm going to copy that, paste it 4 times. 4, 3, 2, 1. So now this is my save game file, and I've added these 4 traits to my save game. I'm going to close the save game. I'm going to go back to the folder where the file that I just edited is. On 7-zip, I'm going to add to archive. Now on add to archive, make it a save file. Let's just say new save. Make sure that you're choosing archive format zip, not 7z by default, but zip. Make sure that you get rid of that zip. You don't need to. It can be any file name and just rename it to .save at the end. Make sure that the compression method is deflate, and also make sure that you have this parameter typed in here, tc equals off. That's required because when you don't have this, a normal zip archive zips along the files and their NTFS file path. So if you have folders and subfolders and so on in a zip, without this parameter, a normal zip file would save the paths of all the files, what subfolders they are in and so on. In this game, in Stellaris' load algorithm, in load function, it does not want to read paths, so it does not expect to see that information. If it sees that information, it won't let you load the save file. So make sure you have that parameter. If you're not seeing the load file in game, then you have to probably go back and try another archive and make sure that that's it. So create that new archive, cut it, paste it into the save game folder for that game. You can probably delete that folder. Now I'm gonna go back in game and see if I can load that, and it will load the traits as well. I don't think it's gonna load the traits because it probably needs to refresh the game by... Oh, it did. That's interesting. Let me just double check that that worked right. So, yeah, Sean, and yeah, that was right. So, apparently I don't even have to exit the engine. It just reloads all of the settings files on the fly. That's really cool. It saved me time in the future. So, now that we've done that editing, we have this game. We just loaded it before, and we didn't have these traits. We edited the traits, the species traits file, and we edited our save game, and now we have these super traits. So that's pretty much how you can mod a game. And that's all I wanted to show in this. So also what I wanted to ask is anybody watching this, if you have ideas for a mod, check out some of the stats in the file. I'm going to post the cutout of the available properties that I put into this file in the description. And looking at that, if you guys come up with any ideas how you can use those variables and tweak the game to make something interesting in a mod, post your idea below in the comments, and maybe I'll work on it, maybe we can work on it together. So welcome to a very quick crash course on how to mod a game. And that's all. Thank you.